I am going to be talking to you about some time management topics and hoping that you will go from overwhelmed to organized. So let's get into it. First, I'd love to tell you a little bit about myself. I work as a global talent acquisition leader, and I have experience that spans over 15 years. I have the privilege of leading teams across the globe. But more than that, I'm a mother. So there's my kiddos in the picture. I'm an entrepreneur and someone who deeply believes in building lives that are not just sustainable, not just successful, but sustainable. As you can see, why I'm qualified to lead this presentation is I lead a very busy life, as many as you do as well.
Nikki,
As you can see,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. Your deck isn't on the screen. We can't see it.
Oh, you cannot see mine. Let me stop sharing and I'll reshare. All right, is that better?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So, as I was saying, I'm a busy TA leader, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and in addition to that, my daughter, she is the previous past Miss Maryland 2024. So, we have a very packed schedule. But this collage really signifies my world, and I want to be able to just show you who I am and why I'm here to talk about time management. So, welcome to Time Management 101. This session is really designed with you in mind. I know that we're all juggling very busy lives. We're ready to move into, problem solving. And what I really want to share with you all today is how we can move from being reactive to intentional living. And so we're going to dive into some simple yet powerful strategies like energy based planning and habit stacking. So these just aren't productivity stack hacks, they're sustainable shifts. What makes you matter and feel good? So the first thing that we're going to do is just talk about, what we can do to go from overwhelmed to organized. So let's talk about one of the biggest myths in productivity, that being busy means you're being effective. The truth is, busyness often masks disorganization. How many of you have been busy all day long, yet you cannot articulate exactly what you have done? Let me see a raise of hands or a heart emoji in the chat. Have you ever had that feeling? Like, I had the busiest day ever, but I can't tell you what I've done. So, what we're going to do is making sure that, we're prioritizing. I know some of us have had back to back meetings, we have constant notifications, last minute tasks, but we want to make sure that we have an effective day, that it's structured, purposeful, and we leave room for focus and flexibility. So, this slide really introduces the mind shift. We need to go away from doing more and moving toward doing what matters. So, let's talk a little bit about energy based planning. Most people plan their day based on time blocks. And if you haven't figured that out yet, that is definitely a productivity hack that you should really start to embody in your life, is blocking out time. But what's very important is think about your energy. How can you really block time according to your energy? So for many, there's a morning peak, a midday dip, and an evening second win. So when you map this out, you want to be able to make sure that you're working with your body and your biology and not fighting it. So energy mapping is the foundation for optimizing your productivity and aligning the type of task with your energy availability. So what does this look like? We don't want to make sure that we're working on an important task at midnight, right? We want to make sure that we are at our peak and we're freshest, and perhaps we're doing that task in the morning. So in the morning, we are really prioritizing deep work. We're blocking out distractions. We're really using time to focus, midday for admin tasks, and evening for creativity or recharge. So this isn't a one size fits all. Want to make sure that, maybe you're a night owl, right? Maybe you get your most energy at night. So just want to make sure that we are feeling energized and that we can be in the zone. So let's take a moment to reflect. Drop in the chat. When do you feel your best? Morning, midday, evening? Let me hear. Let's see who's in the crowd. Who feels the best in the morning? Oh, I see a lot of mornings. Midday, I see a midday. Any night owls in the house? Anybody do? Whenever it's dark, I love that. Sometimes at night. All right. So we have a variety of people, but most people said, the morning. And so it's not a one size fit all. You have to make sure that you are doing high priority tasks when you feel your best. So let's make sure that we're taking inventory of that. And so grab a notebook, and think about your last few days. When did you feel sharp? When did you feel clear? When did you feel creative? And just make sure that you are really notifying yourself, I'm a morning person, I'm a midday person, and an evening person. This is going to make sure that you lock in to when you feel the most productive. So the key takeaway for this is make sure that you are working with your energy and not against it. It's a simple shift that really changes everything. So instead of pushing yourself to power through, think about doing tasks in small increments, maybe an hour, and that way you'll get the most attention when you need it. So let's honor our energy levels. Let's become better at working smarter and not harder. So most people, when they're planning, people don't often plan consistently, and so want to make sure that we're mastering how to plan, whether that's daily or weekly. But it's important for us to really think about our biggest barriers, right? We know planning is important, but let's pause and think: what's really getting in our way? What distractions are getting in your way? Is it a lack of consistency? Is it low motivation? Do you just feel completely overwhelmed? So let's name it. Is it social media? Children? I see children. What about consistency? Anybody ever say, "Oh my goodness, on Monday I'm really going to start working out. By Wednesday they fizzled out." We all had our moments. Overload. Yes, definitely. Too many things. So now that we've identified our biggest barrier, we've just called it out. We have to pay attention to when that thing is seeping into our lives here. And so let's reclaim our productivity. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. And you don't have to do the traditional to do list. That may look productive, but sometimes it's overwhelming, right? You feel behind, even if it's at the beginning of the day. And so we want to just change that narrative. What I want you to, if you hear nothing else, hear that all you need to do is set 3 priorities a day. Ask yourself the question: if I accomplish these 3 things today, would it make a difference? Would I be successful? Would I be happy with myself? And so, what you're going to do is name those 3 big levers and then protect your time. Time block them, make sure that you are not being distracted, and just be consistent. Be consistent with setting your 3 priorities for the day. All right. So once you kind of have your priorities, I would love to really talk about habit creation. So they don't need to be extreme, but the most powerful habits are the ones you can repeat consistently without needing to think. How many people have seen successful CEOs wear the same thing every day? They don't want to get up in the morning and think about what they want to wear. accessories, etc. They wear the same thing every single day. They're consistent and they're successful at probably getting to where they need to be on time. So habits equal systems. And systems really are linking a new behavior to something that you already do daily so that you can remove that resistance. You're not relying on motivation, you're relying on momentum. So, habit stacking is one of the easiest ways to make a new habit stick. You're not building from scratch, you're anchoring this new behavior. So, here's the formula. I want us all to think about it and try it. So, for example, after I brush my teeth, I will take my vitamins. You're stacking being able to take vitamins. It feels small, but small, consistent efforts really stack up and matter the most. And it really helps you to build a strong system. So take some time, jot it down for yourself. What's a habit that you can stack on something that you do every day? And if you haven't heard about it, I'm going to drop this resource right here. So, the Miracle Morning. If you, many of you have said that you're morning people. So, if you're a morning person, I recommend that you read the book. It's by Hal Elrod, Elrod, and it's called The Miracle Morning. It really is a book that will change your life and that will really encourage you to stack your habits. So now that we've discussed how to build habits, it's time to dream small in a good way. So micro habits are ridiculously tiny actions you can do every day with almost no effort because they sneak past resistance. So think about what's one micro habit that you'd love to build this month. 1st of October, think about it. If you name it, you can claim it. So here's the key takeaway for the second mind shift. We talk about energy based planning. Now we're talking about habit creation and habit stacking. Small stacked habits equal sustainable productivity. And so we often aim big, but lasting change starts small. I see working out, waking up early. Yes, name it, claim it. So when you have stack that habit, when you wake up in the morning or when you go to bed at night, you will lay out your workout clothes. When that alarm goes off, you will walk to your closet and put on your workout clothes. It's just about stacking, changing your behavior. And this set of actions will really build powerful systems over time. So I don't know how many of you know what a SMART goal is, but many of us are familiar. If you don't know what a SMART goal is, this is my reminder to you of the goal. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So when you're creating a goal, you want to make sure that you are remembering to have all of this criteria in the goal and make sure that you're reviewing it regularly, you're staying motivated, and be accountable. Bring a friend along, right? You want to seek support and share your goals with your friends. So, somebody said that they wanted to wake up early and work out. Share that with a friend. Be accountable. Add some more specificity to it. Do you want to wake up every day? Do you want to work out 3 times a week? And really define that goal. How long do you want to work out? Many of us have Apple Watches and it'll tell you when you haven't closed that exercise ring, right? And so make sure that you are tracking your goals. So your calendar, many of us use an online calendar. Your calendar tells the truth. If it's packed with back-to-back tasks and distractions, you will feel overwhelmed. And so the best thing that I can recommend for really moving from overwhelmed to organized is time blocking and really thinking about intentional living. Think about when the tasks match with your energy. And then also think of your schedule as a statement of your values. What does your current calendar say about you? What does your calendar say about your priorities? It shouldn't be filled with a bunch of tasks. Instead, we're focusing on those three major levers, those three major priorities per day. So remember that when you're putting things in your calendar. It's stuck to get in the daily mode and it's easy to get stuck in the daily mode and only react to what's in front of you. But weekly planning really gives you a higher altitude. So if you're not planning at all and you're just, looking at the things on your calendar and reacting to it, I would encourage you to start a new leaf and really maybe Sundays is the day that you sit down and look at your calendar. That's my day. I sit down on Sundays and I look at the week ahead. I figure out who has a birthday party and what gift we need to buy. And I go ahead and, add some things to the Amazon cart. And so just really have to be intentional about how you're spending your time. And just make sure that it's balanced and that you can feel grounded. So um, think about your days, batch your tasks, and protect your time. So let's do a quick little check in. I'm wondering, what are some of your non negotiables, right? So a lot of us may have some family time. For a long time, I did Sunday dinners at my mom's house until it became overwhelming, right? So sometimes you have to remember one thing is good for a season in your life. And then another time it may not. So, some non negotiables I see family, friends, hobbies. Absolutely, we do not want to burn out. Sleep, absolutely. Movement. So when you're planning, the first thing I would encourage you to do when you're time blocking is think about your non-negotiables, the things that center you, that fuel you, that reflect your values. Think about family time, movement, hobbies, rest, spiritual practices. Write down those things that are non negotiables. I seen travel, schedule time to go away, see the world, eating, sleeping. I don't know about you, but I have lunch scheduled in my calendar. It is time blocked, it is protected time for me to walk away, get something to eat, maybe go for a walk around the block. That time is protected. And if you don't have your lunch blocked out, I'm encouraging you to do that on your calendar. So here's where things get exciting, right? What's a dream or a goal that's being pushed to the sidelines because life is too busy? If anybody wants to share, drop it in the chat. What's a dream or a goal that's being pushed to the sidelines because life is too busy? So, writing a book, yeah, bring it to the front and center. And so, I know a lot of people go away to camping or cabins and they get away from it all just so they can write that book. So, yeah, Sharon, write that book. But what you want to do is, think about that dream that you have and bring it to the front and center. Dream time isn't luxury. You have to really align your life with your values. And whether it's starting a business, whether it's learning a new skill, block time for it. Remember, consistency is what matters. Some of us, we just want to get everything done all at once. And with time management, we have to realize that doing a little bit consistently adds up to a final book, right? So writing a sentence consistently is going to add up to a paragraph. Writing paragraphs consistently is going to add up to a couple of pages, and then you'll have chapters, and then finally you'll have a book. Consistency is definitely what matters. Work on stocks and investing. Absolutely. Block out those Sundays. Study those charts, look at those ticker symbols. Absolutely. So you make space and time for that. Thank you for sharing your dreams and your goals with me. So this is one way where you can make your dreams real, right? Giving them a timeline and attention. So each month, pick one goal, right? Not five, not 10, one goal. So Someone said they wanted to do look at charts and stocks, right? So you want to make sure that you are eliminating the noise and build the momentum. And think about your SMART goals, right? So you want to look at charts and you want to look at the stock options. And maybe your goal is to, I don't know, trade twice a month, right? You want to buy a stock and maybe you want to trade it twice a month, right? So take that one goal and break it down into weekly weekly sections. And then from there, when you funnel that, you start with your dream, you set the monthly focus, and then you go from weekly to a daily flow. This funnel helps you go from high level vision to weekly and daily execution. So start with the big goal and translate that into a monthly milestone. Then plan your weekly steps. And then from there, you chop it down to maybe one of your priorities, right? So out of your three priorities, that one priority is going to be dedicated to stocks, or maybe that one priority is going to be dedicated to writing a paragraph. So you think about the one goal, the one dream, and you set the monthly focus. You chop it down to maybe 4 items, usually 4 weeks in a month, right? Think about those big blocks. And then for the one week, you focus on the week 1 week, you then single it down to one small task for each of the 7 days. And so that's how you really funnel down from that high level vision to the weekly and the daily execution. So this process is going to bring you clarity, it's going to reduce overwhelm, and you're building your dream one doable step at a time. So, of course, we have to talk about self care, right? We don't want to burn out. We want to make sure that we are taking time to maintain our mental health, maintain balance. And so, you don't have to earn rest. You need rest. It's the oxygen of high performance and not the opposite of it. So, this is your permission slip to slow down, protect your peace, and protect your time. Time management is really about protecting your time and letting go of perfectionism. It's about being consistent. Hustle culture glorifies burnout, but we're rewriting a new narrative. Schedule your rest, normalize recovery, because when you rest well, you show up fully. So, a couple of strategies to really prevent burnout, right? You want to set clear boundaries, right? So, I talked about my lunch break and my lunch time. So, for the end of time, no one will schedule anything from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. unless I break my own boundary, right? And say, well, it's okay this time. And so you have to really set clear boundaries, right? If you know that you don't want to work past a certain time, you have to set a boundary, right? So delegate tasks whenever possible to lighten the load. If you are able to, have somebody do your laundry or have somebody clean your house once in a while. Delegate tasks so you can lighten your load. Schedule self-care, right? So make sure that you're taking time to read a book, go for a walk, practice mindfulness. We want to make sure that we're prioritizing sleep so that we can have better mental health. Engage in physical activity and do the things that we love. Spend time with your friends. So, takeaways from overwhelmed to intentional. First, let's plan with energy. Not every hour is created equal. You have to work with your body, not against it. You have to listen. And when you need to rest, you need to rest. Second, build habits that stick. So, tiny, consistent actions beat intense efforts every time. I know we all want to, get things done immediately and we're going to work until it's finished. But trust and believe that if we just do tiny, consistent actions, it will all come together. And finally, align your calendar with your dreams. If your schedule doesn't reflect what's most important to you, rewrite your schedule. We're not here to survive. We're here to create, and we're here to spend time with those that matter the most. So, final prompt. And while I talk about this final prompt, Zweli will drop the resource for you in the chat. I know we only have limited time together today. And so it's just a little resource for you to kind of dig a little bit deeper into your energy based planning, your habit creation, and your dream activation. But what we've covered a lot today. And just remember that change starts with one simple step. So, what's one shift you're ready to commit to this week? Maybe it's a 5-minute morning ritual. Maybe it's a weekly planning schedule. Or maybe it's turning off notifications, right? We all have that do not disturb notification on our phone. Maybe we're going to turn that on after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So think about share in the chat. Like, what's one thing that you're willing to commit to, one shift that you're willing to commit to this week? Is it time blocking? Is it habit stacking? Anything you heard that resonated with you today that you want to make sure that you're committing to this week? Yes, not putting too much on your plate, prioritizing 3 things: sleeping early, habit stacking. Definitely. It's the easiest thing to do because most of the time we're gonna eat lunch. We're certainly gonna brush our teeth. I hope so. So let's just start stacking onto things that we are certainly doing already. All right. So if there's any questions, I will go ahead and take that now.